cradle to the grave. Now your favorite rapper name on the headstone. Too late, you already hit it. Right now I'm on the edge, so don't push me. Troublesome since 96. You a shook one, Reeves and all the ledge. I'm your, what's that? I smell. Let me count my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, run. Hi, my name is Dirk Cobain. Like a, here I go to the next episode. Ain't no damn this explosive Beast Coast. Yeah. The mother ride or die for my strictly for my survival of the fittest. That's the sound of the police. I'm in deep cover earth. Skirt, lean back. Give me one more chance. They say Jesus walks and the devil wear Prada, but I'm so deaf. God can't tell me nothing. Right this on my death certificate. I gave you power. 21 questions like who?
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Cleveland Browns. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue line!
On 1st down, it's Rosen. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mayfield now on 2nd down. Open receiver, that's David Njoku. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now a handoff. Johnson. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people trying to keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
On second down, Johnson. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On third down, Johnson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll indeed go for it with Rosen. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on fourth. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And they'll throw it with Rosen. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now Rosen looking to throw. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
Flushed out right. Keeps himself upright. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
On second down, Rosen. That's caught. It's Thomas. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the Here's Rosen to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. J.J. Nelson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Second down, Mayfield. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Rosen to throw on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Green 39.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down.
Over.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the kick by Butker is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Third and short yardage, Mayfield. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. He's got a first down of inside the midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. More from Cleveland after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Mayfield on first down. And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Leopard! 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 Leopard!
They pitch it out to Johnson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half here, it's Rosen. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half, let's do it. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Cardinals out in front. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it with Johnson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
From the gun, Mayfield steps away. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
56. Mike, 56 right there. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. I got you.
Here's Mayfield. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Shane Ray leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Forced out to his left. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And this is recovered by the Cardinals.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Rosen. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Denzel Ward, the number 4 pick in the 2018 draft, making the tackle from his corner spot. The Cardinals on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Down right around the 25. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run. It's Johnson. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. David Johnson denied here on the 4th down run. And this Browns defense stands tall. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
After the interception, here's Rosen. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left. Oh, wide open, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket, because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Myles Garrett in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, it's Rosen. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the score. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 33. And Butker able to put this one through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. He's going to sling this deep down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
On third down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Mayfield on fourth down. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Eli Apple. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one will be accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Johnson on the counter. And some space here. Got some room at the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Flush to his right, dumping it off for Johnson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to you.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We got them now.
Again, it's Johnson. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Rosen to throw on third down, sliding out of the pocket. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on third down. They nearly got it. Probably should have gotten it, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Browns on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Mayfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. It's Gordon. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. A first down throw for Mayfield. Lee's got it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there at 22. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Gets it to Gordon. And out across midfield down to the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That's Njoku over the middle. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get it to Landry there. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Cardinals, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll head back.